Hello, my name is Sadie. Welcome back to my channel, YinReikiLight. And today I wanted to come on and do a divine feminine channeled message and a weekly sort of just general energy reading for this week, August 16th through August 21st. We are at the halfway point of August. We also are sort of at this, it's called waxing gibbous moon, which is like basically the halfway point between the new moon and the full moon. And that's today. The waxing gibbous moon is today. The moon is in the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is about higher learning, about, passions, desires. It's really a good energy right now to clarify your goals, take action on your goals and dreams, and just to really, connect with your higher self and your guides for any sort of ideas and inspiration. Those are going to be your divine guidance right now. A lot of ideas, a lot of inspiration, a lot of just like gut feelings and callings to go do something. That's really one of the main things this week. You will see that you're just going to have like this sort of like spark of creativity, spark of inspiration. And what's good about that is, because we're in this halfway point, that spark of inspiration, that seed that gets planted this week, whatever action you take this week during Virgo season and the fall, you're really going to see that blossom and you're going to be able to reap the rewards and benefits of that. So, just pay attention to any sort of idea that you get, any inspiration that you get, any sort of creative inspiration or any sort of nudging to go to a certain place or do something like enroll in a class or start a group or anything like that. Really listen to it this week and take action. The other energy that I'm picking up on this week a lot is that pay attention to nature, especially animals and insects that you may be seeing. They're bringing in a lot of messages, a lot of spiritual guidance, a lot of help on your path. I'll give you an example. On Saturday, I woke up, and I always get up and go, take a long walk. And right when I got up in the morning and went outside, right outside the door of my apartment, there was this huge dragonfly. And I saw it, but I didn't really pay attention to it. Later on that day, I went to a spiritual bookstore because I wanted to pick up some more sage and I just needed a couple things. And the woman at the checkout at the bookstore had a huge dragonfly tattoo on her arm. And we were talking about tattoos and different things again. And then again, I recognized it because I had told her, hey, I just saw a dragonfly. And interestingly enough, we were talking about animal totems and she was asking me what her animal, what my animal totem is. And I was explaining, it's different animals, different times. But then on Sunday, when I woke up, went outside to take a walk, again, not the same dragonfly, but a different dragonfly was right outside of my door. And so I looked at the spiritual significance of dragonflies, and this is what it says. Change and transformation, flexibility and adaptability, developing fresh perspectives, actualizing your potential. Let me open up my phone because there was a beautiful Native American message about the dragonflies too. Let me find that. In Native American culture, dragonflies are symbolic of renewal after difficulty and also resurrection. They are also believed to be the souls of the dead. In Japanese culture, the dragonfly brings good luck and fortune and is the bearer of new light on a matter. It also embodies joy, strength, and courage. And so, that was like my message from my guides and stuff like that, is just that, there's this renewal energy coming through. I've gone through a lot of changes, but I'm at the end of a cycle, and I'm growing and expanding and transforming. And so that's one of the other messages that came through yesterday. I have this Archangel Raphael app that sends me daily messages, and the message for yesterday was, don't worry, you're almost there, keep going. And the message for today is, all is healed. And so really, if you trust in yourself, trust in your path, just believe in your soul and know that you cannot fail, you're going to be just fine, no matter what is going on in your life currently. And it's funny because then the song that I heard yesterday and this morning was Bob Marley's Three Little Birds. And I'll read the lyrics real quick because I absolutely love the song and I haven't heard it in a long time. And it is, don't worry about a thing, because every little thing is going to be all right. Singing, don't worry about a thing, because every little thing is going to be all right. Rise up this morning, smiled at the rising sun. Three little birds perched on my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true, saying, this is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing, because every little thing is going to be all right. And so that's really a spiritual love message to all of us. And it's so funny, I'm talking about insects and animal totems, and here is a caterpillar that just crawled on my hand. So I'm just going to put him down on the tree. There you go. And so that's really what's coming through this week, because we're getting ready for the full moon. You may get a lot of insight, a lot of clarity, a lot of understanding, wisdom, enlightenment, also information, because it is a second Aquarius full moon. There could be some, really important, vital information for you, for your path, for something that you're struggling with right now, that just sort of comes out of nowhere for you this week and really, really helps to push you forward. And so let me get into the divine feminine channeled message, and that is steady progress. So this is the divine feminine channel message that came through. There are no wrong turns, no missed opportunities. What is yours will come to you. Everything is proceeding according to the divine plan and your soul's path for this lifetime. Take a moment to acknowledge and recognize how far you have come and all the lessons you have learned upon the way. As God incarnated into a physical body, you are on a sacred quest of remembering that you are so much more than merely mortal. You are divine, eternal, infinite, and creative consciousness. It is in the coherence and integration of all of you that leads you to your highest path, greatest gifts, and ultimate destiny. Your ego is not a hindrance. Your fears and worries and doubts and insecurities are only parts of your shadow. The darkness is really there and truly there, so you can remember you are divine. And as you shine your light on the darkness will not remain. And so really, if you're really struggling right now, if you're really going through a hard time, if you're dealing with a lot of different sort of issues that have come up for you, just know that this is part of your divine path. This is part of the beautiful unfolding of you going from a caterpillar to becoming a butterfly. And so nothing is wrong. And you are completely held, loved, and supported in all ways. Here's the other thing that's coming through. This is a little bit different than what I usually do. There's a really, really deep sort of urgent message from Spirit to everyone to really listen to your intuition, but also really trust and follow your guidance right now. This week, Uranus is going retrograde on the 20th, and Uranus is a planet of awakening, enlightenment, freedom, shakeups, shocking. It's a tower energy. And because Uranus is going retrograde in the sign of Taurus, which Taurus is like your material life, your creature comforts, you know, food, money, all the things that kind of make you feel stable and secure, that could bring up a lot of collective and personal sort of tower moments and events that could put you in a space where you are not feeling secure and you're not feeling, you know, that you have a steady foundation. Remember always that number one, God, source, the universe is your foundation at all times, in all ways. Everything you need will always be provided for you. All you have to do is ask and connect to your higher self, to God, to the universe. Ask and you shall receive, okay? Number two, I don't bring messages like this through much, and I don't bring them through in the purpose of triggering anyone or bringing anyone into a place of fear. Fear just manifests more fear. So truly there is nothing to fear. But I am a firm believer, as someone who has lived my life the last 4 years, truly listening to my intuition and following my guidance and being protected in the most difficult of situations, that to be forewarned is to be forearmed. Your guidance is your God protection system. It is your inner GPS. I always use this example of she was a former supermodel for Victoria's Secret. Her name is Eliza Benitez. Back on September 11th, she was going to the airport. She got a bad feeling. She wasn't feeling good. As she got to the airport, as it was getting closer for her to board the plane, she just knew. She knew in her gut she was not supposed to get on that plane. She had, you know, an anxiety attack. She was like freaking out. She called her boyfriend, who ended up becoming her husband, and she said, listen, something's wrong. I know that I'm not meant to be on this plane. And he was just like, you know, don't get on the plane. Like, it's not that big a deal, you know. And she said, you know, she'd never had that reaction before to flying, or, you know, she was a model, so she was used to flying internationally all over the world for her job. And she listened to her guidance and to her boyfriend and didn't get on the plane. And then, you know, an hour or two later, just like the rest of the world, she watched the planes hit the Twin Towers, and she was supposed to be on one of those planes. I always use that example because regardless if you're spiritual, if you consider yourself spiritual, if you believe in this stuff, if you're on an ascension path, if you're on a twin flame journey, if you're woke, if you're completely sleeping, we all have intuition, and it will go to bat for us. It will fight for us. It will make itself known to us. If for any reason our sacred contracts are being threatened, or, you know, we're being put in a situation that we're absolutely not supposed to be in, that would cause us great harm and or death. But we have to listen, and we have to take the guidance. And so with Uranus going retrograde, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because for the last couple of weeks, I've been feeling like something's coming, something not good, and not for me personally, but for the world, for the collective. This weekend, a precursor to the Uranus retrograde energy was that huge earthquake, that devastating earthquake in Haiti. You know, hundreds of lives are lost, many more missing, just so much damage and destruction. That is Uranus energy. And so I say that because there will be more earth events. Listen, we're here at this point of ascension not just to grow and ascend ourselves spiritually, but to grow and ascend the world, the earth itself. And ascension is messy. Anybody who's on this path knows it's hard, and oftentimes it's a path of destruction. It's a path of destruction that brings a lot of grief, brings a lot of suffering, brings a lot of heartbreak. But in that grief and heartbreak, you rise up and you become the phoenix, and you ascend, and you become who you were truly meant to be in this world. And so I say that because there is something coming, and my mother, who is extremely psychic and very, very intuitive as well, kind of was like, are you picking up on that? Like, she's very, she's a triple Scorpio. So she is very, very in tune with different things. And she's like, I'm just getting the worst kind of feeling. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's something not good for the world. And I'm like, yeah, me too. Unfortunately, though, neither of us are clear as to, like, I'm not getting any messages, dreams. I'm not getting any sort of psychic insight as to what is coming. But I feel that something is coming, and it's going to come soon. It may come around the full moon, which is this weekend. It may be also in September, because September is a 9-month. It's about completion. It's about endings. But it's also, in that beginning part of September, we will be in Virgo season. And so Virgo is an earth sign. So it's a collective event, something that is going to come and impact the earth. And so I just share this to tell you that wherever you're at on the earth, wherever you find yourselves, if your intuition is telling you to go somewhere, listen, take action, listen to it. If your intuition, on the flip side of that, if your intuition is saying cancel that trip, or don't go to this certain place, or don't do this certain thing, absolutely listen to it. It's going to be imperative over the next, I'm going to say, few months. Between now and the next few months, there's going to be a lot of changes. There's going to be a lot happening, and it's going to be imperative that you don't just hear your intuition, but you actually listen to it and take guidance. So, and just send love to the world. One of the things my guides are always telling me is that no matter what happens, no matter what occurs, you can always pray for a higher outcome. And so send love to Haiti, send prayers to Haiti for the highest outcome, for the least amount of lives lost, for the most minimal amount of damage in your own life. If you're really feeling like, things are going to change in a way that you're not wanting to or hoping for, you can always pray for the highest outcome. Okay. So that is the message that wanted to come through this week. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm sending lots of love. Take care.